Hey everyone, Storm Team 10 meteorologist Jason Doris here with you. Wanted to give you a little bit of an update with what's kind of going on our weather alert day that we have present. The main reason for it is because of our potential that we have for flash flooding as we go forward into this evening, especially during the evening commute, causing some issues out on the roadway. Right now, our flash flood watch has gone into effect for the entire region, and the watch is just saying the ingredients are there for us to experience some flash flooding later on today. So that is for all of Rhode Island and also southeast Massachusetts, again continuing into tonight. On the radar itself, we're finally starting to see a little bit of activity bubbling up across the region right now, and it's in this little ribbon of showers. Doesn't look all that potent right now, but as we get going a little bit later on, closer to 3 o'clock, that's when this is really start to develop and become a little bit more robust. But I'll kind of show you what's going on right now, and a clearer depiction of that is actually with the visible satellite imagery. So the satellite's looking down at the cloud tops across the region, and there's two different things that we're really looking for right here. One is you can see the first couple frames, this line of clouds inching its way a little bit further inland. That is the sea breeze, and then also just the general direction of the clouds inland, a little bit of the west northwest. Those two wind directions are converging together, and once they finally clash, that's where we're really going to start to see that line of showers where we have those brighter clouds right now start to fire off. And then eventually that will be tapping into all of the moisture that's available at the surface and also in the mid levels of the atmosphere, where we have dew points in the mid 70s widespread across the region, which is tropical Florida-like humidity, which means we could potentially see downpours that are tropical in Florida-like, producing rainfall rates of 1 to 2, maybe 2.5 inches per hour. And that could lead to some issues because of what we saw on Thursday, where we had those soaking rains. That has lowered the amount of water that the ground can take on. And we have parts of the region, including Providence County, Kent County, Bristol County, Rhode Island, and Bristol County, Massachusetts, that can only take on over the span of an hour about 1.8 to 2.5 inches of rainfall per hour. And that is more or less basically where we're starting to see that line of showers and downpours start to set up right now. We can see Kent County, Washington County and Newport County, Rhode Island, actually able to hold a little bit more water. Not saying that flash flooding is not possible down there, but it's just a lower risk of it. Still probably going to be some ponding on the roadways if they find themselves under one of those torrential downpours across the region. Same thing as you make your way a little bit further north there on 95. But basically what we have here with forecast track, that scattered line of thunderstorms will really start to become robust after about 3-4 o'clock or so, which then leads into the evening commute, where we're going to have to deal with thunderstorms and downpours tracking through the area, leading to slow travel, ponding on the roadways, and even some localized roadways potentially being closed down because of how much rain could be falling in such a short amount of time. Notice though, we do have those storms more or less moving over the same location. That's because there's no steering mechanism in the atmosphere today to kind of push these storms along all the way through about sunset. So wherever they set up is basically where they're going to continue to impact over and over and over again until they finally start to subside around 9-10 o'clock or so. Still going to be tracking some activity though during the overnight time frame. This will be just some more light to moderate rainfall that will be on and off until almost sunrise tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow itself should start off dry, but in the afternoon, we're expecting kind of a similar situation, just not quite as intense, where there'll be another little line of downpours that sets up right at the leading edge of a sea breeze, and that will lead to some more torrential rain in some localized spots. But rainfall accumulation wise, again, this is not going to be the exact numbers across our area, but just to give you an idea of the dramatic difference depending on your location, where we could have some communities that end up under that training downpour or thunderstorms picking up over 4 inches of rainfall today, and then you could go down to the coastline and barely see a single drop of rainfall. Now that is going to be a dramatic difference between maybe 5-10 miles north to south, so that is going to be a very important role on who and who does not see any flooding at all this afternoon. So again, just to kind of summarize some of this, downpours should be starting especially 3 to 6 p.m. along that leading edge of the sea breeze. That flooding is going to be possible because of those torrential rainfall rates similar to what we saw on Thursday, but we're not anticipating to have as much severe weather. There's still the potential of maybe an embedded thunderstorm that could produce some strong wind gusts, but nothing compared to what we saw with that system on July 3rd, where we had power outages scattered throughout the state. So we're not anticipating that, which is the good news. But really, the big story is going to be the evening commute, which will be slower than usual because of that heavy rain and the ponding on the roadways. So make sure you stay with Storm Team 10. We'll be starting at 4 o'clock live on NBC 10 News, and we'll make sure to kind of walk you through what's going on with this system as it blows through.